I will be going step by step through how I installed drip irrigation for my raised beds. I started out with the drip irrigation with built-in emitters, but they clogged easily and there was no way to unclog them, and the system did not work well. I also had problems because this was all exposed to the sun, and these plastic irrigation parts break down when exposed to sunlight, and so this system doesn't last very long before I need to replace it anyway. So I'm trying to redo the system and get everything underground. And I'm also going to convert to this drip with external emitters. So I got this 1/2 inch line. I got the brown line because it's protected against UV rays compared to the black line. But you just have to be careful because it's a slightly different size than the black line, and it's only compatible with the brown couplings, not the black couplings, which are slightly different size. And I got this tool for cutting the line and also poking the holes for the emitters. It looks like cheap plastic, but I found it actually works very well. I got the spaghetti tubing for routing the water to the surface from the emitters. Again, it's brown for UV protection, and some 1 gallon per hour emitters, and they're pressure compensated. So to start out, I install the emitters on the spaghetti lines. I start by soaking the tube in hot water to make it more flexible for when I insert the emitter. And then I'm cutting them to the right length that they will need to distribute the water throughout my raised bed. I like to do this as a first step before the emitters are connected to the main line to avoid jiggling the emitters once they're poked into the main line, which can lead to leak. So I'm putting in 8 emitters in one bed. And now I'm going to poke the holes for the emitters using the tool. It's important to also watch how the lines bend because they come out of a coil, and how they bend, you want to use that to your advantage to make it bend in a direction that you want it to bend. Like I have these lines bending up towards the surface, and that's will then work to get the lines going where I want them to go. And using this method by putting together the lines in this order was very effective. I did not have any leaks on my lines. These were all well sealed. So this is my completed line for one bed. Now we just need to install it. This external line is going to be replaced with a line that comes up from inside of the bed and then remains under the surface of the soil. So here I've shifted the bed underneath, and now I'm going to attach a coupling to my PVC so I can get my 1/2 inch line connected. So there's the coupling inserted, and my line is installed with an elbow, and then I connect the main line to it. And at this point, I flush the system. So I turn on the irrigation, and water comes out of the end to flush out any dirt or debris that I might have got in there during the installation process. After this, I crimp the end, and this actually does prevent any leaking out of the end. And I cover everything with dirt, bury it, protect it from the sun, and then we're ready to run the system and see if everything works. I've got the 8 emitters. They're all working well. There were no leaks, and everything is buried under the surface and protected from the sun. So I should be ready for the fall planting season. So here's Ham, the desert tortoise. He saw me making a mess outside of his burrow and he came to investigate.